welcome to Cradley Heath Speedway. For the first league match here since that colourful character, Dan McCormick, severed his connections with the track. A rather bizarre aftermath, you'll remember, to his announcement that he was planning to run Birmingham as well as Cradley Heath. Well, it couldn't be tougher for Cradley. They're up against the current champions, Coventry, and they're led by one of the all-time greats in World Speedway, none other than Ollie Olsen. Well, let's join our commentator now, Dave Lanning, and with him, Barry Briggs.
So here's Heat 1 on the inside, Ollie Olsen in the white helmet colour. Next to him, Alan Graham in blue. Grid 3 has Alan Molyneux in yellow and black. And on the outside, the American idol of Cradley Heath, Bruce Pennell. Here's Heat 1. And it's Pennell from the outside who is in trouble on the first corner. And that allowed Graham to go through, though Olsen is trying the outside run, and Pennell goes down past the inside of Olsen, and Coventry there, after a tempestuous first lap, are relegated back into third and last positions. But I don't think Ollie Olsen's finished in Heat 1 yet. Well, Nick did mention that the Heathens have a tough battle on their hands. Indeed they have, because they're without their key second string, Phil Collins, out with a broken collarbone. And they are utilising the sports rider replacement regulations to cover for him. And indeed, Graham, here in blue, in heat number 1, is a replacement for Phil Collins. Making very good use of that replacement ride too. Pennell still holding out to Olsen. And this really is an impressive start from Cradley Heath, although we really did have a hairy first lap. There's the victory wheelie from Alan Graham there, winning heat number 1, partner Bruce Pennell in second place, and Ollie Olsen a bit surprisingly back in third, but that's a maximum 5-1 heat win for the Heathens. All the action then on the first couple of corners. Let's look at it again with 4-time world champion Barry Briggs.
And from the start, we see Pennell closest to the camera. He appears to make the start. He goes into the first corner, pulls across the other riders, but he does a very, very bad mistake here. Just about falls off. Olsen does well to miss him, and Alan Graham shoots up the inside and passes Olsen in the process. But watch Alan Graham in the blue now. He's a little bit too hard on Olsen. He absolutely closes a gap. Olsen hits the fence, allows Pennell to get up the inside, and it gives Cradley a 5-1. But Alan Graham, in my opinion, was pretty hard on that corner.
Derek Harrison in the blue helmet colour for Cradley coming into Heat 2, the reserves race. Remember, it's Coventry 5-1 adrift. In fact, the Heathens with the maximum heat win in Heat 1. Just in case there are any non-initiated Speedway fans left anywhere in the Midlands, let's just remind you that it's 3 points for a win, 2 for a second, 1 for a third, and no score for a last place. 13 heats in the British League match, and each race has 4 laps in an anti-clockwise direction. And the riders in the red and blue helmets throughout will be the Heathens. The riders in white and the yellow and black helmet colour, got a good view of one there, will be the Coventry riders. So heat number 2, the reserves race. On the inside it's Derek Harrison. Next to him in white it's Rob Hollingworth. Grid 3 has John Hackett. On the outside, Australian Gary Guglielmi in yellow and black. Heat 2. And once again, those Heathens have popped out of the traps. Daly and Harrison's in front. They're going hard after them now is the very forceful Australian from Sydney in yellow and black, Gary Guglielmi, while Hack pulls clear up front. Guglielmi's battling around to try and find a line on the outside of Harrison. Now Guglielmi trying the inside run, but Harrison, and he's lost a chain there, and that's unlucky. At least it looked like a chain. He's certainly out of contention in Heat 2. So there's Hack going roaring through. John Hack, young man from Manchester, ex-Cycle Speedway star. In fact, Harrison's now got going a long way back. He's not going to have any further say in the placings in Heat 2. Hack, we were talking about, here he is. Has just joined the Heathens full-time, up from Oxford in the National League. Looks like a useful prospect too. So John Hack goes over the line in Heat 2. He wins it. Second place, Guglielmi. Third place, a little luckily, was Rob Hollingworth. And Derek Harrison just comes across the line. It must have been some momentary fault that caused his bike to stutter there midway through Heat 2, but it certainly cost the Heathens 4 points. There's Hack, the leader. And, well, he led from start to finish to consolidate a divided heat there in Heat 2, making the progressive scores. 8 to Cradley, 4 to the Bees from Coventry. Well, there's the Gladiator waiting to be unleashed. Ela Taroma in the blue helmet colour for Cradley on the outside here in Heat 3. Let's have a look across the grid. On the inside, it's going to be Tommy Knudsen, brilliant young Danish prospect there. You can see the yellow and black helmet, the new European under-21 champion. Next to him in red, Alan Graham. Well, this is his programme ride. We saw him taking a rider replacement ride earlier. He won that one, so he's in sharp form. Grid 3 has Kevin Hawkins, the most improved young man in the Coventry side this year. He's in white, and on the outside, it's the Finnish flyer, Ela Taroma, in blue. Heat 3, the scores with the Heathens 4 points up, 8-4. Let's see what happens in heat number 3. And this time it's Coventry who get away from the traps, although Graham's trying the inside runner. That was a crafty piece of cornering from Alan Graham. A really superb piece of curb riding. He's leading it. With him is Kevin Hawkins, and he's taken him very wide again. And Alan Graham looks in a mean mood this evening here at Dudley Wood Stadium. So once again, it's Cradley up front, the Bees from Coventry, the double league champions, tucked in behind him. At the back there is Ela Taroma. Cradley Heath currently in 6th place in the British League, haven't been beaten at home, but have had 5 defeats away. Coventry are 2nd at the moment, 1 defeat at home, and that was by Cradley Heath. We remember we saw that one too on our match of the week on ATV. Cradley have 3 defeats, while the Coventry 2 draws away and 3 defeats. So both these clubs very much in contention for the AT title. Alan Graham goes across the line. 2nd place was Kevin Hawkins. 3rd place, Tommy Knudsen. Points divided again, 11-7, that's the way it stands. And it might be interesting to have a look at that first corner again.
The start of Heat 3 is very, very interesting, and the rider to watch is Alan Graham on red, he's on number 2 position. Knudsen gives him a push going to the first corner. He's in last position, Knudsen, and his partner Kevin Hawkins on the outside, but he runs wide. But now watch this corner from Alan Graham, a beautiful first corner, down hard on the inside, has a look, races down the back straight. He's underneath the other man. He's underneath Hawkins. He drifts him a little bit wide here, runs him past the corner, stays in the dirt, and away he goes, and a very, very good and hard first lap by Alan Graham.
Double league champions Coventry then having a hard job to hang on to the Heathens after 3 races. They're 11-7 down, and might have been more so but for an engine failure from Derek Harrison. Let's see what happens in Heat 4. The lineup there you can see on the inside, Eric Gunderson, a Dane. There are 5 Danes between these 2 clubs, incidentally. Just another indication of the growing influence of the Danes in British Speedway. Eric's on the inside in the red helmet colour. Next to him in yellow is Gary Guglielmi. Grid 3 in blue is John Hackett. On the outside, Mitch Shearer for Coventry. Heat 4. And it's Shearer away from the outside and Gunderson from the inside. Gunderson, in fact, rides a far superior first 2 corners. Guglielmi's moved up into 2nd place, and now Hack is making a bid on the inside of Shearer, but it's Gunderson already imposing his will on Heat 4. Guglielmi is in 2nd place, and Hack really ran a brave corner there underneath Mick Shearer, an intercontinental finalist in the World Championship at White City this very afternoon, Sunday. And he looks as though he might have his mind on that meeting at the moment. Gunderson still leads it, so now Guglielmi is aware that John Hack is breathing down his neck. There's the leader. Battle for 2nd place. This is Gunderson, and again Guglielmi drifts out wide in 2nd place. There's the battle. Hack trying the inside run now. And Hack has gone through on the inside, and the Heathens really enjoyed that. A win for Gunderson. Good 2nd place from John Hack. Really a brave, gritty ride. And 3rd place, Gary Guglielmi. Mitch Shearer, intercontinental finalist, nowhere in sight. That was a maximum heat win. Bit of a surprise there. 16-8 then, Heathens stretching their lead against the league champions Coventry. We've had 4 races, and you can see Cradley really beginning to get this British League match by the throat. They're 8 points in the lead, and we're moving into Heat 5, and Alan Graham, unbeaten, is going to be on the outside in red here. So let's just have a look at that lineup. On the inside in white, Ole Olsen, third place, first time out. Next to him in blue, Ila Taroma, unplaced in his first outing. Grid 3 has Alan Molyneux, a local Midlander from Long Eaton. He's in yellow and black, but on the outside, the unbeaten Alan Graham. But this time he's got Olsen on the inside, and I don't think Ollie will make the same sort of mistakes as he did in Heat 1. And he was clearly beaten by the Heathens pairing. Taking his time, settling down. There's Graham on the outside there. It's ridden hard, but it's been fair, and he's got 2 wins under his belt. Olsen, of course, 3 times world champion. And he's made a tremendous start from the inside, and Graham's made a good start as well from the outside. In fact, a super start. And he really shut down on Olsen, and that allowed Ila Taroma through on the inside. And Olsen, I don't think he's going to like that too well. Goes around beautifully around Taroma. Now he's chasing hard after Graham. And Alan Graham really has been the, well, sensation's a hard word, but he has really been brilliant in this fixture so far. Didn't really make the start that time by our reckoning, but he came across and through sheer determination got around the outside of Ole Olsen. And now really Olsen is not making much impression on him. Taroma's in third place. Molyneux is a mile behind, so the Bees, unless Olsen can get up, are going to fall even further behind. And now Olsen really is making his challenge. They're into the last lap. It's 367 yards around this Dudley Wood circuit. But I think Olsen's left his challenge just perhaps a little too late, or has he? He hasn't. That's marvellous. Oh, my word. It seemed as though Ole Olsen had left it far too late, but he found the drive, he got the line. They used to call this man the head waiter because his timing was always right on the line, and he really rode a perfect last corner there to snatch it right on the line. Well, let's look at Heat 5 right through again, because it really was something of a masterpiece. Alan Graham on the outside in red, Ole Olsen on the inside in white. Here's Barry Briggs to talk us through it.
As Alan Graham off the outside has made quite a good start. He comes hard down the line now. Olsen is very, very upset about that first race. Olsen tries to run Graham on, but Graham keeps going and leaves Olsen back, and Olsen's missed the corner, and Graham's partner comes through, Taroma, and now Olsen finds himself back in the third position. Now Olsen does a very, very good corner here. He gets round the outside of Taroma again, and now he's off after Alan Graham at all.
Well, of course, Alan Graham here, Barry, must be aware that Olsen's on his back with him. What does it feel like when you know you've got a legendary figure breathing down your neck like this?
Well, as long as he doesn't panic, if he over-races, then that's the chance that Olsen wants. And Olsen definitely, after that first race, is upset with Graham. And Olsen is really putting in a ride because he's got that big intercontinental race coming up, and normally he wouldn't stick his neck out. But you can see that Olsen's giving it all because he wants to get back at Graham.
It's a good long way back here, Barry. You really wouldn't have backed him here, would you, at all? Look, he must be, what, 10 lengths adrift?
Yeah, but he's really trying, Dave. You can see now he's just getting to the position where he can really challenge Graham now, and he's riding. This is why Olsen's so good. He's fast, but he's smooth. He doesn't look as though he's going hard. You can see him now. He's running on the outside of the track where there's a little bit of dirt. He does a fabulous corner here. It looks as though he's lost a bit of ground, but this is where he gains momentum here, and you can see he's taken a wide approach to the corner. Graham's not sure where he is. He thinks he's going to turn back, and that gives Olsen the chance, and Olsen sneaks around the outside of him, races to the finish, and a great win by Olsen. And even after the race is over, Olsen would not shake hands. Olsen really wanted to win that one.
Will that inspirational ride from Ole Olsen lift the Bees? They're still 8 adrift, and we come into Heat 6 with Bruce Pennell riding in red, and he's an inspiring figure for the Heathens these days, another Intercontinental finalist. He'll be on the outside here in the red helmet colour. On the inside, it's Mitch Shearer, very disappointing first time out. John Hack comes in for the missing Phil Collins in blue. It's in yellow and black there, Rob Hollingworth, and on the outside, it is Bruce Pennell. Heat 6. It is Hack again, who's made a tremendous start, and Pennell going around the outside of him. And I think John Hack wasn't aware that it was his partner Bruce Pennell, but now he is. And Pennell, I'm sure, will sit with his young teammate and try to prevent Mitch Shearer from gaining any further advantage from heat number 6. very, very wide here, allowing Hack the inside run. He's looking back, you saw that quite clearly, as if to say, come on, son, get up on the inside and I'll look after you, but I can't hang around forever. Hack really has been something of a revelation here this evening. He's already got a win in a second place, and now he's holding out an Intercontinental finalist, and that's Mitch Shearer. And Shearer, although he's up very much on his back wheel, still has it all to do here on the last lap. Pedal in front. Hack's in second place, has ridden beautifully. And again, Shearer's trying the outside run like his skipper Olsen did, but he's not going to pull it off. Bruce Pennell wins it in second place, and that really was a fine ride from young John Hack. And in third place, Shearer. And as Shearer went by there on the inside, it looked like he might have just brushed against his foot. A little bit of needle creeping in here. You can see there that Pennell is saying, hey, come on, settle down. Yes, indeed. The natives getting restless. 5-1 for the Heathens. 24-12 they now lead, and that really is a surprise at this stage. Here's Heat 7, the Bees struggling, and if a revival's going to come, it's going to have to happen pretty soon, maybe here in Heat 7. Let's have a look at the lineup. On the inside, Tommy Knudsen in yellow and black. He had a third place last time out. Grid 2 has John Hack, and he really has been Cradley's match winner with 2 seconds and a win, and we gather he's also dosed up to the eyeballs with flu at the moment, so even more notable achievement. Grid 3 has Kevin Hawkins in white, and on the outside, Eric Gunderson in red for the Heathens. Heat number 7. And it's Hawkins this time who gets clear, and so too does Knudsen. And now Gunderson's going to have to do some hard work here because it's the Bees in front. And we wonder if the revival is indeed coming. Knudsen leads it. Second place is Hawkins, and in third place, really trying to find a hole, is Eric Gunderson. This is a little bit more like it from the league champions. They have been a little bit down in spirit and in application here this evening so far, apart from one prodigious ride from their skipper, Ole Olsen, but they look comfortable enough here, although Gunderson could still get up. Coventry, of course, with a tremendous record in British League Speedway. They've won the league title for the last couple of years, and now Gunderson again, as they move into the last lap, is trying to get outside Kevin Hawkins, and I think he's going to do him. Although Hawkins again has pulled clear on the inside line, has left him very little room to run around the outside. Knudsen will win it. There's the checkered flag. Second place holding on was Kevin Hawkins. Third place, Eric Gunderson. A maximum heat win for the league champs, and it's again not before time. Reduces the arrears 25-17 now, with Cradley still in front. All the action really on the first corner in heat number 7. Let's again relive it with Barry Briggs.
And from the start we see Knudsen on the inside and Gunderson on the outside. The Coventry pair has made it there. Gunderson turns right back, he gets in between. It looks as though he's got a run on, but no show there at all as Hawkins pulls back closer to Knudsen, and then Gunderson's got no room, and away they go, and they held that 5-1 throughout the whole of the race.
So a great start for Cradley, but Coventry fighting back all the way, and you can never write off the champions. Plenty more speedway to come. Join us again after the break. Welcome back to Cradley Heath, and all set up for a great end to this exciting league meeting with Coventry fighting back to try and get on level terms with Cradley. Let's get back to our commentator, Dave Lanning.
And Heat 8 does have a couple of changes. We've got Bruce Pennell coming in the red helmet colour. Now, he's a rider replacement, replacing the injured teammate Phil Collins. He'll be in the red helmet colour. And the Coventry team manager, Peter Adams, as his side are now more than 6 in arrears, can use the sports tactical substitution regulations, and that allows a starman to come in to replace an off-form rider on one occasion, and he's bringing in Tommy Knudsen in the white helmet colour here to replace Alan Molyneux, who's been sadly out of touch all evening. Well, there's the stern face of the Cradley starting marshal as the lads settle down. It's not the most enviable job in the world. You need to be a tough sergeant major type. And settling them down here on the inside, it's Tommy Knudsen in white, just a race winner for Coventry. Next to him in blue, Derek Harrison. Grid 3 has Gary Gugimi on the outside, Bruce Pennell in red. And Pennell battle, predictably, from the outside, although Knudson's made a good run up the inside as well, and Tommy Knudsen now leads Heat 8. Pennell's in second place. Third place, it's Guglielmi. And now Bruce Pennell really must find the gap and force an opening here as he challenges hard after young Tommy Knudsen here in Heat 8. Knudsen in a bit of trouble there, just his front wheel off the ground, and Pennell saw his opportunity and drove through on the inside there, although Knudsen still isn't finished. And again, Knudsen coming back on the inside, but Pennell's a wily old bird. Really is a rider of class and quality. We saw quite clearly there his ability to spot an opening. Knudsen just in a little bit of trouble. Pennell saw the gap, drove through it, and it looks like he's got heat number 8 in his pocket. We look back down the field, we can see Knudsen is in second place, and still holding on to third place is Gary Guglielmi. So neither side going to gain any advantage from Heat 8. Pennell is the winner. Second place was Knudsen. Third place, Gary Guglielmi. Points divided again, 3 to each side. Still an 8-point difference, 28-20, with the Heathens in front. Well, Heat 8 was a fine example of the overtaking ability of Bruce Pennell. We saw him in around about the second lap there take young Tommy Knudsen. Knudsen's on the inside in white, Bruce Pennell's on the outside in red. Let's watch for the rider in yellow and black, Gary Guglielmi, because there's a complaint that he lost a chain guard. But now let's pick up Heat 8 with Barry Briggs.
Now you can see Tommy Knudsen in the white helmet getting a beautiful line right up hard on the line. There's a little bit of unused grip there, and he's got that grip in the first corner. He's got it well ahead of Pennell at the moment. Now Pennell's riding a wide line. He's trying to get the run down the inside of young Knudsen, but Knudsen is a really cool kid for his age, and he's just sitting there. He's just not going to be hurried by Bruce. Bruce is around the outside, he's up the inside, but at the moment it's not affecting Knudsen at all.
That gets into a little bit of trouble there, you see, Barry. Just the front wheel off the ground, and that allowed Pennell enough time to come through, didn't it?
Yes, he just momentarily got on one wheel. He missed the corner just a shade, and that was the gap that Bruce wanted. Bruce got under, run him a little bit wide. Knudsen fights back here, running in the dirt again, but Pennell just generates enough speed to give him back the advantage, which he hang on for the rest of the race.
We didn't see a chain guard going anywhere there from Gary Guglielmi. And while the pit deliberations go on, apparently a chain guard was seen to have come adrift during Heat 8. Now that, according to the regulations, is forbidden, and it could lead to some kind of disqualification or exclusion, although referee Jeff Dalby, one of the Speedway Control Board's most experienced officials, has said he saw nothing wrong. Heat number 9, 28-20 the scores, and again Coventry try to play a tactical sub. It's Ole Olsen coming into the yellow and black helmet colour, and that's a bit interesting because it could well set up another clash with Alan Graham. We saw their marvellous battle in Heat 5 when Olsen just pipped Graham on the line. We have a chance perhaps to have history repeating itself in Heat 9. Alan Graham's on the outside in red, so a look from the inside. The lineup is Olsen on the inside there in yellow and black. Next to him in blue, Ila Taroma. Grid 3 has Mitch Shearer in white, and on the outside it is Ole Olsen, rather it is Alan Graham, there he is, in red. We'll get it right eventually. Heat 9 could be a crucial one. Olsen, Taroma, Shearer, Graham, away they go, and this time the Coventry boys really carved up Graham. Olsen leads it. Second place though is Taroma. Shearer's in third place, and Alan Graham's at the back, bursting under Mitch Shearer there into third place. Shearer still fighting. Here's Olsen. And, well, we almost had him through in the living room there. The Great Dane really getting into his most magnificent stride now. And a bit of a shaky start to the meeting. A third place first time out. He won his last race, and it's going to take a tremendous effort to catch him here in Heat 9. But still, of course, Coventry will gain no advantage because the Cradley pairing of Taroma, who's ridden a good race here in Heat 9, and Alan Graham are filling the minor places as they move into the last lap. Mitch Shearer, desperately disappointing for the Bees. Mitch Shearer, for an Intercontinental finalist, he's half a mile behind here. Here's Olsen, majestic win for him. Second place, though, was Taroma. Third was Alan Graham, points divided, 3 to each team, progressively now 31-23, and now the Bees have used 2 tacticals, and we wonder where their inspiration is going to come from. Well, let's have a look at what happens to Alan Graham here. He's on the outside, and watch the way Shearer leaves him no room at all. Barry Briggs.
And the start starts, and Alan Graham is on the outside. Shearer's beside him. Shearer's made the best start. Olsen's made a good one from the inside, and it looks perfect here for Coventry. But Mitch Shearer, he's not on form tonight. I don't really know if he's saving himself for the Intercontinental final. He's run wide, and Olsen's got the lead cleared up, and you can see Alan Graham now turning back up the inside of Shearer, and they come out in formation. The 2 Cradley riders right behind Ollie Olsen, and Mitch Shearer's left groping at the back.
Coventry still consider they're in with a chance. 31-23 the score. We're on to Heat 10, and really the Heathens fielding a formidable duo here. Bruce Pennell in red, coming in as their rider replacement for the missing Phil Collins, as Eric Gunderson. Facing them, this very young pairing of Kevin Hawkins. He's in the white helmet colour, and young Tommy Knudsen, who's only 18, the European Under-21 champion. He'll be in yellow and black on the inside. 31-23. They settle down. The green light will go on. There it is, and now they're away any moment. And again, it's Knudsen who's made a superstar, and Pennell got a knock at the first corner. And going through into second place, it's Gunderson, but Bruce Pennell's the one with all the work to do. And we really have the makings of a speedway race here. Leading it is Knudsen. Second place is Gunderson. In third place is Hawkins, and Bruce Pennell right at the back. Absolutely busting a gut to try and make up some ground. Well, Hawkins is riding well to hold out Pennell, though he'll dive under him under this corner. Into third place, still leading, it is Knudsen. Second place, Gunderson. Pennell's moved up into third with a really neck-or-nothing dive under young Hawkins. But he's never surely going to catch up on young Knudsen up front here. Good young lad, this one. Definitely a potential world champion following in Ollie Olsen's footsteps. Already the European Under-21 king, as we said. Ridden a good race in Heat 10, but Cradley still split them up. Still the points divided, 34-26. That's the way they stand. And it'll be interesting to see what just did happen on that first corner.
This is a very, very interesting first corner, this. Bruce Pennell right on the outside of the track. He's next to young Hawkins. Hawkins gives him the elbow there, and you can see Pennell going completely out of your picture. Knudsen has made the start. Hawkins has consolidated his place in second place, and Gunderson's up the inside, but it's really put Pennell miles behind. But what a great ride. He got through it to finish up behind his partner, but they couldn't catch Tommy Knudsen here, the leader.
3 heats left. There's the score. And Coventry still with an awful lot to do. They've managed to split the last 3 races, but they'll be looking to some advantage here. The effort really must come. They've got Ollie Olsen on the inside. Tremendous inspirational figure for them. They've kept Alan Molyneux in yellow and black. He hasn't got a point yet. He'll be in grid 3. On the inside there, it's Ben Olsen. Next to him in blue, John Hack coming in for Derek Harrison. Grid 3 has Molyneux, and on the outside, Eric Gunderson. And it is Gunderson from the outside leading Olsen. He'll enjoy that. The young Dane leading the old master, moving through into third place. It is John Hack. And now Olsen chasing hard after Gunderson. And this really is the old generation against the new one in Denmark. And a perfect piece of cornering by Olsen, running Gunderson very wide in. Gunderson has fought back, and that was dreadfully brave. Tremendous piece of cornering. Seemed to have no chance at all there of recovering. Olsen really ran him in hard, but Gunderson is a battler, and now he's leading the Dane, the great Dane. And Olsen again must really push hard. Third place back there is Hack, important third place. And Olsen still challenging hard on the back wheel of Eric Gunderson, but if he can hold on here, this really will be a memorable win for the young Dane. Again, Olsen trying the outside run. The crowd really rising to this. This is tremendous speedway. Can Olsen again find that outside run? Here he comes. But he's not going to do it. Gunderson wins. That's one for the archives. Second place Olsen, third place was Hack. Virtually puts Cradley in an unassailable position, and Olsen, I'm sure, will congratulate his young countryman there, because he really did ride the most tremendously brave corner. Olsen, it seemed, had pushed him right into the boards. We'll love to see that one again.
There's a very interesting start. Olsen on the inside and young Gunnarsson on the outside, both Danes, and everybody likes to beat Ollie, especially another Dane. And there's Gunnarsson's got the outside running, Olsen's up the inside. It looks as though Gunnarsson's on an easy win here now. He's made the first corner perfect, but Olsen doesn't want to let him win. Olsen's riding so smoothly, you can't really tell how fast he's riding. He's pulled up on the outside of Gunnarsson now. He's running in the dirt. Gunnarsson turns back down the line, but you can see Olsen still working on the bike. Olsen pulling back, trying to gain the speed. Now here's Olsen. He's got an inside run under Gunnarsson. He moves under Gunnarsson, and Olsen's running out to try to get out in the dirt with Gunnarsson, but Gunnarsson just keeps going. He holds it there. No matter how far Olsen comes, Gunnarsson's gonna outfox him. He's kept it on, and he's pulled away from Ollie again, and Gunnarsson held on. What a marvellous corner by young Gunnarsson.
Well, there we go, and you can see really Gunnarsson had done all the work there. It really was brave, and he's going away from Ollie Olsen. I mean, Barry, is a rider aware just how near he is to the fence in a situation like that, or is it just blind faith?
Oh no, you just keep going, Dave, and you know a rider like Olsen's going to be hard. It's the name of Speedway. You've got to be hard but fair, and he left Gunnarsson on his bike, and what a great corner Gunnarsson did. He kept his grip. He could have panicked and locked up thinking he was going to hit the fence, but he gave Ollie no chance.
He's going to win it, and he is going to remember that one for a long while. The Heat 12. We've got Bruce Pennell, and it's appropriate perhaps it's the penultimate race. Heat number 12. Eric Gunnarsson we saw setting Cradley up for a famous win. Now perhaps Bruce and partner Ila Taroma will set the seal on it. 38-28 the score. Let's have a look at the lineup. On the inside it is Taroma. He's improved as the evenings wore on. A last place, a third and a second. Next to him in white, the very disappointing Mitch Shearer, victim of a crash while practicing at White City, we learned yesterday. Grid 3 has Bruce Pennell, and on the outside Kevin Hawkins in yellow and black. Heat 12. But it's Pennell who leads, coming around the outside into second place, or is he? Yes, he is. Kevin Hawkins. Third place is Ila Taroma. Pennell riding right out, looking for his partner. And Taroma spotted a gap there and moved into second place inside Hawkins, although Hawkins is battling back. Holding on to second place, so under considerable pressure from Ila Taroma. There's Pennell, second place Kevin Hawkins, third place Taroma. And Taroma again still looking for the gap on the inside. Pennell has all the time in the world to look over his shoulder. Superb number one he is for the Heathens, Bruce Pennell. There he is, a long way clear, and again the action at the back, but these 4 points, if it stays this way, it looks like it's going to. 4-2 Heat win confirms a victory for Cradley. They're now 42-30 up. No way the Bees can come back, of course, now. So Cradley retain their undefeated league record. Still looking well set up for that league title. And Coventry, well, they're by no means out of the chase yet. The scoreline as we go into the last race shows an emphatic 12-point advantage for the Heathens, not quite as much as the corresponding fixture last year, which was 149-29 by the home side. So though it's all over bar the shouting, we do have a chance in Heat 13 for perhaps a reprise of that great Ollie Olsen, Eric Gunnarsson clash we saw a couple of races ago. They're both in Heat number 13. The lineup, as you can see, that's the way they will fill in pairs. Let's have a look at them across the grid. On the inside in blue, Alan Graham. He's been an impressive character tonight. Next to him in yellow and black, Tommy Knudsen. He's got, what, 9 points so far. Grid 3 will have Eric Gunnarsson. And on the outside, it will be Ole Olsen, who has scored a grand total of 9 points also so far. So 3 Danes and Alan Graham, an international potpourri here in Heat number 13. Graham from the inside. inside and Olsen from the outside, and Knudsen took a knock there, and we've lost Gunderson around those first two corners, but Alan Graham leads it. And now Olsen, who we saw, of course, doing a tremendous dash on the last turn to pass him earlier in the meeting, must chase hard. Graham in the lead, Olsen chasing hard in second place. Third place is Tommy Knudsen, and now perhaps we can sit back and watch the masterful moves of Ollie Olsen, because he really is a supreme tactician. Can Alan Graham hold him out? He's in front. Ollie Olsen's in white. Let's just see what happens around these last couple of laps. Olsen seems to be winding himself up around the outside for a dash. We're into the last lap now, 367 yards. Again, Olsen goes very wide on the first corner. Definitely closing on him. Can he repeat that stupendous last lap dash again? Graham, I'm sure, will be looking for him, and Olsen has switched inside this time and almost caught him. Well, that is a difficult one. Master strategy again. Graham was waiting for him around the outside. Olsen switched back inside, and I wouldn't care to call the result of that one. Let's have a look at Heat 13 right the way through once again, because it really was a superb race. Olsen was clearly moving as the tapes went up. Graham got the jump. Now here's Barry Briggs.
Yes, Ollie got a good type of rolling start there, but Alan Graham moved very, very smartly from not such a good start. He moved up the inside, and here we go for another retake of the race where Alan Graham led Olsen right to the last lap. Graham's got the lead. He's playing really steady. Olsen's trying to go around the outside, but he's just, all that Olsen's doing is trying to move in different positions all the time to see what's going to happen. Graham still holds the lead.
Yes, and you can see Olsen here. He really is a tremendous character from the back. There's Knudsen in third place, and Graham and Olsen, they're playing cat and mouse down the back straight. Alan Graham knows he really has got one of the world's great riders, one of the world's great strategists behind him.
And there's Ollie up the inside now. He's playing it really hard. He's moving. He's going around the outside. He's up the inside. He's trying to confuse Graham. And there's Graham this time staying hard on the line. Olsen's hard up on the outside on the dirt. He's running on the dirt now. He tries to pull back up the inside to gain a long straight to catch some ground on Graham. And now he's up the outside again. Now Graham's probably thinking what happened on his last time he raced Olsen, but Olsen rode right around the outside, and there's Olsen hard up the outside. He runs wide, but Graham knows exactly where he is now, and you can see there's very, very little room in between them.
And here is this last lap again, and Graham is still aware that Olsen's on his back wheel, and Olsen, he knows, will not give up till the last checkered flag goes down. Still leading it. We come into the last corner, and just watch this piece of psychology, this piece of conmanship. Now, Olsen feints to go around the outside. Graham's moved out, and he'll turn back up the inside. We can see there, turning back. Graham has just moved out a bit as they go over the line. It's impossible to separate them. Dead heat, perhaps, a very rare one as they go over the line. It looked just about, well, I wouldn't separate them, Barry.
No, I wouldn't make a judge on that. It looks a little bit like Graham might have just snatched it, but I think the official decision is it's a dead heat, and what a race.
Well, it is a dead heat, and that's a fabulous finish to this British League fixture between two top Midland sides. 2.5, 3.5, the unlikely sounding points in Heat 13, and that means the final score is 44.5, 33.5, and we really have had some fun in games.
Ollie Olsen on the left, Alan Graham on the right. That was some race to finish the meeting with. First of all, a word from you, Ollie.
Well, yeah, it was quite a good heat, you know. A few problems on the way. I felt that I had 3 heats just about on the trot there. My back tyre was getting very hot, so I was oversliding a couple of times in the corner, and you know, it made it very close racing. Alan was coming well out of the corners, and we were sort of just, there weren't much in it. As a matter of fact, none of the referees or the timekeeper here could get anything in it, but I do feel, you know, that I was sort of a rub ahead of him, you know, but anyway, we lost the match, and it was just a good heat.
We'll see the action of that last heat in a moment. Andy, Alan, your thoughts on that final lap particularly?
Well, my opinion is that the camera view on the finish line wasn't exactly in line with the finish, and the referee's box isn't in line with the finish, and I think that I beat Ollie by about a wheel.
Well, let's see that final lap now and see if we can sort out exactly what happened. Here it comes now. Ollie.
Well, as you see there, I'm on the outside of him, and that's what I'm going for. And I knew he know I'm there, so he's running a bit wide. I wanted him to do that, and then I switched back there in the middle of the corner and then come underneath him. This is actually a lap early, I think, this. You'll see it now. This is the lap coming up there. And I'm going wide, you see, and switching back, coming out of the corners. Alan knows I'm out there, and he's a bit wide too. I'm coming on the inside. See there.
Alan, what are you thinking as you're seeing this again?
I'm just riding flat out and
well,
keeping it.
See there, there's a whole wheel in it. But
yeah,
you see, you can't get an angle from down from the first corner. That's impossible.
The camera angle isn't exactly on the level with the start line.
Yeah, but what do you mean exactly, Alan? It's in the corner. That's 150 yards away from it. It's in the middle of the corner.
You can see it's a close finish anyway. And,
oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
I think we're going to have to agree to differ on that, aren't we?
We'll share that.
Yeah. All right, the both of you. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Well, you don't see a dead heat like that very often in a speedway meeting. It's certainly a cracking way to finish up a very exciting match between Cradley Heath and Coventry. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. From all of us here at Dudley Wood, goodbye.